Hello, I'm Chris Williams and welcome to my video blog today from the south east coast of England in the seaside resort of Brighton.
Brighton has a population of 480,000 people and has 8 million tourists a year. My day trip cost me £21.70. I went from London Victoria down to Brighton on the faster service, which involved stops at Clapham Junction and East Croydon. There are 2 universities in Brighton. The most famous building in Brighton, it's fair to say, is the Grand Hotel, which, as I'm sure you know, was bombed by the IRA in the 80s. Here we are looking down we're looking down Frederick Place, I understand. Brighton, it's fair to say, is culturally interesting. I went over to the part of the city where the outdoor market is to begin with, but I was looking for the library. It's been a city since 2000, awarded city status by the Queen during the Millennium celebrations. 30% of the population apparently declared themselves in the most recent census to be agnostic. 2.6% say that they are Jedi. In particular, Brighton is the self-proclaimed British capital of homosexuality, and in the library you just saw then the fifth most visited library in Britain. Apparently there's a lot of books on homosexuality that I found intriguing compared to other places I've been to. Here you see that there's things to help the blind get around Brighton, and also information on how you can find books on homosexuality in the library. And here's an interesting poster I saw. Never seen this much to do with homosexuality in any other place I've been to, because would this be useful to me if I lived in Brighton? Beggars to my video blog will find it interesting me doing ninjutsu or jujutsu. There you saw King George IV's Royal Pavilion. I've got a leaflet I'm reading now. It says British heritage at its most eccentric, and indeed I thought disappointing that Brighton stood out compared to other places I've been on tour trips. Here's some rather exotic street entertainment. Brighton Pier here, one of the most famous icons of Brighton. I'll read out to you while you're watching this footage some other bits and bobs of Brighton. The West Pier, which is to the other side of this pier, was destroyed in 2003 by a big fire. The council have still to decide what they're going to do as regards to restoring that pier, because the walkway has collapsed into the sea, so it's largely cut off from the land at the moment. Brighton has a large number of Steiner schools and Montessori schools, and alternative methods of education, so that adds to the notion that Brighton is a bit unique compared to other places I've come across. Because the council keeps being thrown out by the locals at elections, I understand. My parents at Brighton has a reputation for not going along with change and that sort of thing. I'm not in the queue for this toss yourself in the air ride. Imagine if I was. I'm a bit too much of a geek for that. Looking back at Brighton here and the English Channel here in the foreground. Famous people who come from famous people associated with Brighton. Chris Eubank, the boxer, he's Lord at the Manor of Brighton. Holly Willoughby, Richard Attenborough, Julian Clary, Ken Livingston, Jimmy Somerville, Des Lynam, Nigel Kennedy, Fatboy Slim, famous residents of Brighton.
I must admit, having entered Brighton through the market past the city, I thought this place was a bit of a letdown. I started to change my mind, and I encourage you to come here a great deal.
Simon Cowell and Bill Young, the pop singer, and they're also from Brighton apparently. Here we are in the arcade, one of many arcades on the pier. The sign here that hasn't come out too well on my recording is that it says it says something online that don't climb on the gorilla because it's fragile. In the distance, I think you can see Kempton. There's a nude beach over that way. I didn't go there this time around. the athlete Sally Gunner is also from Brighton, and is the comedian Steve Coogan. So is newsreader Natasha Kapinski. There's a big toy museum in Brighton, £3.50 to enter that. Last admission 4 PM. Now this interested me. A Pebble Beach. I've never been on a Pebble Beach before. Where I come from in Pembrokeshire, lots of sandy beaches down there, but I'm fascinated as to why this is a Pebble Beach. I'll no doubt be spending my next few days researching why that is. And a bit of a steep embankment as well. Where I'm standing at this point, it's a long way raised up compared to where the sea comes in. Notice here the railway. Turns out it's the oldest electric railway system in Britain, I think. I don't know if this is the oldest in the world. I know there's the London Underground is, of course, the world's oldest electrified underground. Right, here we are at the Churchill Shopping Centre. 80 shops, and a lot better than what is in Cardiff. And here we're looking at the Prince William clock, Prince Charles clock, actually.
I quite fancy going on the ride with the Vaux electric rail system it sets off from Brighton Beach. Unfortunately, I haven't got enough proper change for the return journey, so I'll have to wait until me and my future wife come here on honeymoon, whenever that will be. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Do join for my regular video posts in Cardiff for the next few days, weeks and months. Until next time, bye for now. Bye bye.